Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Gen X Thinks Live, and I'm Jesse, and we've got Colonel Greasebag McQueen on deck already, Tripwire. Welcome to the show. Who else is that? Oh, Crypto Billy. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Glad to see you here. So, the first thing I guess we should talk about is everybody we've lost over the last couple weeks. I mean, Hulk Hogan and Ozzy Osbourne. I mean, those are some pretty big damn names, right? Some icons for Generation X. Leic, Metal Gear Punisher. Glad to see y'all. April, glad you're here. Yeah, so it seems like we go through these times where we lose a lot of big name celebrities, pretty close together. I remember when Prince, and there were quite a few clumped in around him too. Final Fantasy, what's up? Glad to see you here. But yeah, a lot of these people we grew up with, and I don't know. It seems like they're leaving us now. And though I'm not a celebrity worshiper or whatever. It's kind of good to just go back for nostalgic reasons and recognize our icons from our past. Even though like Hulk Hogan, he kind of faded into the background in the last few years, just getting old. Jason Lamour. What's up, Jason? Good afternoon, dude. Glad to see you here. Glad to see all of you here. Thank you for showing up and spending a couple hours here BSing with me. So what are my Gen Xers up to today, besides hoping for an apocalypse? Yeah, Final Fantasy, yeah. It seems like they come in multiples, within weeks of each other. And what Malcolm Jamal Lewis, he died of drowning. He was a Gen Xer. Yeah, he died of drowning. That was kind of odd. But, yeah, back when Carrie Fisher and Debbie Reynolds, yep. So yeah, I don't know why it seems to come in clumps. The losses seem to clump up like that, but they sure as hell do. I don't know why. It's weird. But we can just bid fond farewell to our icons from the past. Whether you were a big fan of theirs. I know Ozzy had a lot of them, and Hulk Hogan too. Or you're more like me that never really became a big fan of anyone or anything. Crypto Billy. Yeah. No, I am careful what I wish for. I'm not wishing for 1984. I guarantee you that. Oh, okay. I know the feeling, Tripwire. Operating on little sleep is difficult to do, especially when you're trying to use your brain. Yeah, I grew up with the Cosby Show too, Final Fantasy. Yeah, it was out of the blue. He drowned, I think, from what I read. He drowned, and it was just either he had no health problems or anything. So yeah, it was out of the blue. But a lot of them are really. Like Prince and Michael Jackson, they were both out of the blue too. Dwayne, what's going on, Dwayne? I'm glad to see you here, man. Glad you could show up, dude. Yeah, Crazy Train was a good one. And Mama, I'm Coming Home, April, that was a good song too. I remember listening to that when I was in Korea. Yeah, Metal Gear, the Cosby Show. That was we couldn't miss that. Yeah, I like the book and the movie. I've Tripwire, 1984. Yeah, hell of a good movie and book both, and kind of a documentary now that I pay attention to it. Now that I'm actually comparing it to what's happening now, it seems like a documentary. But yeah, there's a lot of that stuff that was written back then that people were very portentous about their stuff. Yeah, yeah. Ozzy had a lot of good ones. He was out there. I actually watched an interview with him about biting the head off the bat, and he somebody threw a bat up on stage, and of course he was messed up on something. He was either drunk or high or something up there performing, and he thought that the bat was one of those rubbery, toys, and he bit the head off of it. He thought it was a toy, and he was gonna bite the head off or whatever. And he said he honestly thought it was a toy when he was up there, but he did. It ended up being a live bat, but he didn't realize it until he had the head in its mouth, or its head in his mouth. So yeah, he bit the head off a live bat, not a live bat, but a real bat, and that he admitted that himself, but he thought it was a toy. He didn't do it on purpose. Yeah, Joan Rivers' death. There's been a lot of weird deaths. Yeah. Yeah, not all of us made it, Lake. The last stat I read, I think there's 65 million of us in the United States. So, yeah. And there's no telling how many we've lost along the way. Yeah, Hulk. Yeah, I remember watching, which one was it? Rocky. Was it two or three that Hulk Hogan was in? Dwayne, I forget now. I think it was three. Hulk Hogan was in Rocky 3, I believe. And he was pretty cool in that. He's done some cool things on television along with wrestling, and in movies. Yeah, it wasn't a Wuhan bat trip. Yeah, Lake pre-Ebola, before all that stuff was Dark Time Patriot. Yeah, yeah, you got that right. Last generation with a brain. Yeah, Gen X rules, dude. Yep. Rocky 3. Okay, Dwayne, I thought so, but that was a good one. What was his character's name? Something. I'm trying to think of his character's name in Rocky 3, Dwayne. It was something like, I want to say beautiful or something. So I forget now. If I heard it, I'd know that was his name, his character's name. But I read some kind of trivia that Sylvester Stallone hurt himself lifting Hulk Hogan up off the mat like that. Yeah, he actually hurt himself doing that. Oh, yeah, Metal Gear. Rocky 3, okay. Yeah, I liked all the Rocky movies, all the way up until 5, I think. Wasn't 5 the crappy one where John Wayne's nephew was in it, the boxer? Yeah, no guarantees, Final Fantasy. Yeah. Yeah, I remember the only person I remember dying in high school um, was a kid. He got in a fight, just a regular fist fight out after school, and the kid he fought went home and told his dad about it. Well, his dad talked him into coming back to school with a knife the next day and stabbed the kid. Yeah. So, yeah, that was how a parent could set his kid up for life in prison. I have no idea, but it happened. Thunder Lips, yeah, Dwayne, yeah. Yeah, I can't believe I could forget that, but yeah. Big Country, what's up? You're never late, Big Country. We're early, dude. We just showed up too early, man. You're never late, dude. Mac MC, what's up? Yeah, I wasn't banned from anything really. Um, just never. My parents never bought us any music cassettes or anything. The only thing I heard was on the radio. So in my early teens and stuff, I pretty much listened to pop music on the radio. Top 40 shit. I didn't get to listen to start listening to heavy metal and stuff until I was in my late teens and in the army. But yeah, my grandma would hear me listening to like which one was it? It was White Zombie, and she told me to stop listening to that devil music. And I defended it. It's not devil music, and it was the album Devil Music Volume One, L.A. Sexorcisto. Or Las Exorcisto. It actually was Devil Music Volume 1. She hit the nail on the head, but I wouldn't admit it. Yeah, that cracked me up. But a good memory. Her peeking out her door telling me to quit listening to that devil music. And me defending it. Candy, hey, glad you could show up. Good afternoon. We're talking nostalgia today. Uh, Hulk Hogan, Ozzy Osbourne, anything nostalgic is what we're talking about. High school Metal Gear, yeah. Yeah, that was the Thunder Kiss 65. That was one of my favorite songs on there, yeah. I could probably sing it. Well, I couldn't sing it, but I could talk it. Y'all don't want to hear me try to sing it. Oh yeah, that. Me too, Dwayne. That's the first place I saw White Zombie was on MTV, Headbangers Ball. Yeah, it was just before I joined the army, actually, at my grandma's house. She was already asleep, and I was watching Headbangers Ball. Oh yeah, Def Leppard, Twisted Sister. What else was popular back then? Judas Priest, of course. Yeah, we had a lot of good stuff back then. Jeff7, what's up, Jeff? Glad to see you here, man. Yeah, Candy, I did too. I grew up listening to AM radio, old country music and stuff, and old country music in the 70s. Like, so old country music back then was in the 50s, from the 50s and the 30s and shit. It wasn't even called country back then when it was made. So, yeah. So in my childhood, I listened to AM radio. That's all we had. And then in my teenage years or early teenage years, I was listening to FM radio. And then I didn't get to listen to, really branch out until I was a young adult. Yeah, I still don't know why they did away with uh, all the music videos and stuff. They were awesome. I still don't get that. A lot of us watched them. I never stopped watching them until they stopped making them. So I mean, I can't believe they didn't have enough viewers. But yeah, that was a whole thing when MTV went away, and or didn't go away, but basically went away. They just started making all kinds of just regular TV, and it was just dumb. Primus. All right. That's cool, Dark Time Patriot. Yeah. Actually forget my favorite Primus song. If I heard it, I'd remember it. Yeah, a lot of us did, Dwayne. You're right. Yeah, I listened to early rap, old country, um, heavy metal, rock. I even like a lot of pop songs, Prince, Michael Jackson, stuff like that. George Michael. I mean, I like all kinds of shit. I mean, across the board. I'll listen to damn near any kind of genre. Well, any kind of old genre. I don't listen to much of that new shit. Chaz, what's up, dude? Glad you can make it, man. Yeah, yeah, true. Okay. Yeah, that's true, Dark Time. But still, I don't know why they quit making the videos, you know? They could, I don't know. But, well, yeah, because they could just post them straight to YouTube, huh? They quit putting them on MTV, and even if a musician or whatever, band or whatever, makes a video, they just post it to another platform. You're right. Instead of giving MTV, letting MTV make all the money. Yeah, Duran Duran's one of my favorites, Candy. I love Duran Duran. They got some damn good music. Yeah, Bon Jovi, yep. Butthole Surfers. I've got one song. What's that one about? About damn, I can't remember that. That's one of my favorite songs is by the Butthole Surfers, but it's the only one by them that I really recognize. Coming down the mountain that was roaring like an avalanche coming down the mountain. Something from a fountain that was pouring like an avalanche coming down a mountain. I don't mind the sun sometimes. The images it shows. I love that song. That was Butthole Surfers. Yeah, that's my shit right there. LJ, about time you got here, dude. Oh no, in a foul mood. What happened, dude? Oh yeah, Disturbed and Alice in Chains, two great bands. I actually saw a video of a Disturbed concert, and the parents in the audience had a little girl up front, and the little girl, the guy's screaming, how he does. I don't know band lead singers' names and shit, but the guy, the lead singer for Disturbed, he's screaming and growling and shit, and the little girl starts crying and freaking out. Well, he stops everything and walks up to the little girl and tells her, we're just having fun. This is, it's supposed to be fun. We're nobody's mad, nobody's angry. It was just a real touching scene seeing that guy walk up to that little girl, and then the guy from I'm trying to think of his name, the band name even. Um, Shit, I can't think of the band name, but another guy, lead singer, they were crowd surfing out there, and they started groping some young girl that was crowd surfing the guys out there, and this dude got mad, and he started yelling at the guys, "Stop that shit!" Get I don't, get the hell out of here! Y'all are gonna do that shit. Zombie, what's up, dude? Yeah, but some of those people actually have morals and stuff, and they're good people. Even though they're up there looking like lunatics and screaming at the top of their voice, they're good people. I grew up in part of my second part of my growing up, kinda. I lived in Washington State. I used to live in the Yakima Valley, dark time. Yeah, when I first got introduced to MTV, that shit was mind blowing. Yeah, it's tough, Patriot, because you can be so fraudulent on the internet. I mean, you can be fraudulent in person too, but it's so easy to be fraudulent and tempting to be fraudulent over the internet. So it's tough, dude. Yeah. I mean, luckily, I'm happily married and been happily married for 10 years now. So I'm not, that's not a thing that I really look into ever. But just common sense will tell me that there's a lot of fraudulence on there. Yeah. Oh, yeah, zombie. That would me too, dude. I'm glad I don't even have to think about that shit. Yeah, trip dangerous too. You don't know what the hell's going on. All right, zombie. Chaz won't be too far behind you, dude. I guarantee you that. He'll be reloading here. It's about time. He's been on here for 3 minutes already. Yeah, he'll be there. You are, Chaz. Oh, okay. The Simpsons were small clips between videos. All right, I don't remember that. Yeah, yeah, dark time. Yeah, that's another thing. I wasn't even thinking about the scammings part of it. Hell, those people in Pakistan and wherever around the world, they can just make accounts on those dating sites and try to scam people out of money. Put any picture they want up there, and now they can do it with AI. So yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, that's tough. We losing. It seems like I don't know. Is it me or is like our generation just built on loss? Sometimes it seems that way. It feels that way anyway. Because we've been losing icons and family members, and just it seems like we're I don't know. We're a generation of loss. It sucks sometimes, man. Yeah, dark time. I hate to hear that, dude. Yeah. Well, I'm sure she appreciated it, man. Yeah. All right, zombie. uh, but yeah, that's one thing we've all learned to face. I mean, since clear back with John Candy, and and we were faced with mortality at a very young age. How many of us thought that we were ever going to get to 2025? How many of us thought that the world was going to get to 2025 with all the stuff they told us about, the ozone layer and the ice age coming, acid rain, nuclear war. I there's no way that I thought that we would be sitting here talking today in 2025. To the point where it never even crossed my mind. I never even thought, well, what will I be doing in 2025? It never crossed my mind. Uh, I just didn't think we would be here. And so, yeah, we were faced with mortality at a very young age, and we've grown up with loss the entire time. Yeah, and it's getting worse now that we're getting older, because a lot of our icons were in the boomer generation, and it's their time. They're going to start dropping like flies. So that's going to be a tough time for us. Even a lot of our stars in the 80s, they were boomers because they were adults when we were 10, 12, 13 years old, and they were playing in those comedies. Richard Dreyfuss and John Candy, but he's already passed. But still, in that era when those grown-ups were acting in movies and we were watching them, and they're going to start passing in larger groups now. Yeah, exactly, Candy. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, that's cool, zombie. Stallion 45, what's up? Ah, great to see you, man. Glad you could make it. We're talking nostalgic stuff today. Yeah, the AIDS epidemic. Yeah, that put shit in perspective too. A lot of people lost associates and friends and family to AIDS. Yeah, yeah, Easy E and a lot of big names passed away back then from AIDS before they kind of got it under control. Now the conspiracy theories are, that they could have or they did have a cure for it, But I don't know. When it gets into that disease stuff, I don't know. I don't know how do new diseases just sprout up out of nowhere. I don't know. Yeah, yeah, Mac. George Burns and Bob Hope. Yep, that's probably the first one I remember too. Was George Burns. Yeah, and he was old as hell back then. Yeah, stay away from Arnold, Sly, and Eddie Murphy. I'd throw Clint Eastwood in that one too. Yeah, but Clint, he's he's on death's door. He's old as hell. Yeah, yeah. You're right, Stallion. Fauci was the main player in that epidemic as well. Yeah, I remember those old comedians, George Burns and them, Carol Burnett, and all that stuff that used to be on TV that my parents would watch. And I would, just kind of be forced to watch it. But still, I have fond memories of it when I see a picture or a video of George Burns or Carol Burnett. You know, it gives me that feeling of nostalgia. Elvis, yeah, Trip, you're right. Elvis, Bing Crosby, yeah. Rex Moto Mundi, what's up? Oh yeah, yeah, I remember when he died too, John Wayne. Yep. So that that's tough to see, and we've been seeing it since we were kids. And we saw it, we heard about it right as it happened because of television and stuff. Generations before us with radio and all different kind of stuff, that it wasn't the same. John Denver, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, the Oh God movies. Yeah, yeah. I remember George Burns with his cigar and his glass of wine. I think, was it a glass of wine he always had? I think so. But he was always smoking a cigar. Oh, I didn't know that. Final Fantasy. The A lot of old radio programs have been turned into podcasts now. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good idea. Archie Bunker, yeah, jazz. I think, was it a skiing accident or a plane crash? April. I think John Denver died in a plane crash, but I could be very well be wrong. Bullish on parade, yeah. When Nelson Mandela died the first time, yeah. Yeah, they stole that from us though. They reset the clock on us. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was a plane trip. I'm not 100% sure. That's just what it seems to me. All right, Patriot. We'll see you later, man. Have a good one, dude. Glad you stopped by. I thought it was a plane. Yeah, I don't remember Nelson Mandela dying. I don't know what. I wasn't paying attention to the media and shit back then. I never have really watched mainstream media, the legacy media, never in my life. so uh, so I don't remember Nelson Mandela dying, but that's one of those things. My biggest one, the Mandela effect thing, is the Fruit of the Loom cornucopia. I saw that. I remember where I was standing and looking at my a T-shirt with that logo on it, because I recognized it from my D&D days playing D&D as the Horn of Plenty. And I remember making that connection. I can see the room I was standing in and everything. So the Fruit of the Loom cornucopia is the one to me that I know for a fact is something weird's going on there. Crab Man, what's up? Glad to see you here, man. It was Sonny Bono that slammed into a tree while skiing. All right. Oh, okay. Yeah, I just don't know, remember him dying or him being released or anything. I've heard more about Nelson Mandela in the last 5 years than I ever have the rest of my entire life. So I don't remember anything about Nelson Mandela as a young person. Yeah, George of the Jungle. Yeah, yeah, Horn of Plenty, dude. Yeah, that's what I remember. I've always called it because that's the only place I've ever seen it as reference was in D&D, and we called it the Horn of Plenty. So and then I remember seeing that on that logo. No, not when you're moving fast. They're not, Trip. Bucky, what's up, dude? Glad you could make it. The Buck D. Glad you're here, man. We're talking about nostalgia and the Mandela effect. Yeah. Yeah, if one falls on you, dude, those are dangerous. Those are when trees go on the offense, they'll fall on your ass. Yeah, same here, Candy. I didn't pay much attention to that shit. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't really know who Nelson Mandela was until the thing about the Mandela effect came up, and then I looked it up on the internet. What is the Mandela effect? And then I read that, and that's how I found out who Nelson Mandela was. Other than that, I had no idea. What did I play in D&D? Cleric, or my two main and favorite characters were a cleric, and then I played a lawful good paladin. Kennedy hit a tree too. Yeah, it's like those two singers from Soundgarden and the other one. They both went out the same way, real close to each other. In an odd way too. They like hung themselves from a doorknob or something. It was fishy as hell. Seems like when they, just like the remember a couple years ago with the Boeing whistleblowers. That was a bad time to be a Boeing whistleblower because they all got into the whole self deletion craze and took themselves out with multiple gunshots and shit, bludgeoned themselves, and was they still able to pull the trigger several times, and yeah, it was crazy. They were tough. They were tough. They couldn't even take themselves out. Yeah, not with one shot. It took multiple. Yeah, me too. Final Fantasy. Yeah, the '90s was it's just a haze kind of bad decisions and yeah. Oh, okay. Fighter Magic User. Yeah. Yeah. Well, excuse me. Somebody pointed out the commercial "Choosy Moms Choose Jif." That's what I remember. Choosy Moms Choose Jif. Yeah, zombie. They got Hillaried. Yeah. Paladins. Yeah, I just like paladins, dude. It's usually what I play. Yeah, Stallion. That was all devil stuff too. Everything was devil stuff back then. Devil music, devil. Everything was gonna make us Satanists. Yeah, Hillary must have been a Boeing investor. Yeah, yeah, you're right, Mac. Yeah, see, yeah, people have the habit of disappearing around her. That's for damn sure. Yeah, no, they. If you're really motivated, you can figure out how to hang yourself from a doorknob. Yeah, I guess there's been some instances of it. Why they would choose that way to go, I don't know. It seemed like there'd be better ways to go, but and then two of them to choose the same way, it gets a little fishy. I got questions. That's all. I got questions. Yeah, Zombie Monk was. Yeah, I've played a monk before too. Yeah, I've always put peanut butter on my pancakes. I always like peanut butter and jelly or honey on my pancakes. I just don't like maple syrup. Ugh, I just don't like that shit. Uh, as a kid, a lot of times that's all we had to eat was pancakes, the cheapest pancakes they made, and the cheapest maple syrup they made, and that's all we had. So I had to eat it. And as an adult, I don't eat that shit unless I absolutely have to. I have no other choice. Yeah, crab man, you're right. Soccer moms, uh, I don't know why, but because and that kind of stuff, they've never done it. They never played D&D. Never really listened to heavy metal music. So, and they had it out for it. So, yeah, we played paladins and stuff, and we were fighting evil, fighting for the good, and uh, they thought it was a gateway to Satan. Playing a lawful good paladin. Yeah, Butt Nuggets Homestead, Devil Dog, Skippy or Jif. Oh, when it comes to peanut butter, I've never really had a preference. Uh, Not even with the smooth or the chunky. I literally have no preference. I'll eat whatever brand or texture of peanut butter imaginable. I don't care. Whatever's on the shelf. Yeah, I don't have any preference, Dwayne. I never have really had any. I don't know why, but I never. Because I guess because my parents would always just buy whatever was the cheapest. It didn't matter. They bought whatever was the cheapest. So I never got to really eat the same brand for years and get to get used to one or get to where I preferred one. Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing people don't understand. Younger people, nobody but Gen X understands it because even the boomers and the silent gen who raised us, they didn't understand it. What it was like being a kid that just nobody in society gave a shit about you. Not the teachers, not the principal, not not your parents, nobody. Nobody gave a shit. We had just the most dangerous ass toys imaginable, the most freedom imaginable. We could just go outside and run for days, well, all day anyway. And but a lot of us could go for days. Not all of us, but we could stay out overnight. I remember staying out overnight and late at night, coming back late at night. Powdered egg pancakes. No, the hell they're not. Bucky, powdered egg pancakes are the best. I have to disagree with you there, dude. Oh, Marianne Chaz. Yeah, there's no contest there. Every sane man knows the answer to that question. Oh, Cheech and Chong. Yeah, we can't forget about Cheech and Chong. Bullish on Parade. What's up? Glad you're here. Yeah. Yeah, we did too. Yep. Yeah, made your own Dungeon Master manual and all that. Those books were expensive. Shit, you couldn't afford that stuff. Get a used player's guide and have to make up your own shit from there. Yeah, Trip. Yeah, Marianne. Mumbly Peg? No, I've never heard of that. Now, I never had BB gun fights because our dad would have killed us. Yeah, if he found out we were shooting at each other, no, no. But we'd play a game called Manhunt, and me and my brother actually you're not gonna believe this, but me and my brother would take our shirts off and take stinging nettles and have sword fights with them. And we'd have just welts and shit all over us. That shit was so painful. I think I'd rather be cut with a real sword. I remember sword fighting with my brother with stinging nettle plants, and they grew taller than us down where we were in Rainier, Oregon. Holy shit! Yeah, talk about pain, dude. Yeah, but we just did some crazy shit just for fun. We didn't have anything else to do, so let's hit each other with stinging nettles. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, Rex. Yeah, we do all kinds of crazy shit. I had a pet rattlesnake. I caught a baby rattlesnake, and I've got a video where I tell the story. That's a crazy ass story that I have about that rattlesnake. But I actually caught a rattlesnake and kept it when I was like 9 years old, I think. Nine, yeah, about nine. Me and my brother were up in the hills investigating under rocks and shit, and I caught a baby rattlesnake. Yeah, Candy, that's how most of us have been. Yeah, we've been on our own. We had to make it through life. And that's why I just can't stand these younger kids, talking like, I can't and shit is too hard and they don't want to, they don't want to pick vegetables or fruit for, to make a living for a short time when they're kids until they can get something better. They want to, they want to come out of high school and get $150,000 job. It's just crazy the contrast between us and the younger generation, where we had to scrape by and do whatever was necessary to survive a lot of times, from birth basically, to now where these kids, they just, if it's not handed to them, they're not going to do it. No, they all expect to be YouTube and TikTok stars overnight. Post one video and they fully expect it to go viral, and then they go buy a mansion and a Ferrari, and that's it. That's how they're going to spend their lives. So it's insane. Yeah, yeah, bullwhip, kelp whipping each other. Yeah, Angela. Yeah, that kind of shit. Yeah, add extra forks to the bicycles to make choppers. Yep. I never did that, but I had a friend who had a lowrider bicycle. He put so much work and effort into that thing. It was a big chopper, and the seat was just like 18 inches off the ground somehow. He was good with that shit. He might be doing that for a living now with motorcycles and stuff, as far as I know. My first job, I think I was about 14 or 15, was at a small livestock auction with goats and pigs, and not horses and cows. It was the smaller stuff, sheep. But I remember going there. I went there every weekend. But that was my first real job, where I got a paycheck. And shit, I remember this little pig. I don't know. He was a little bit. He wasn't knee high, maybe midway to my calf, and he comes running down the chute in the wrong way, and he was right up against the fence, and I was going to pin him up against the fence, as he was coming, and I was just going to use my leg to pin his neck and shoulders up against the fence and grab him and take him back where he went. Shit, that little joker was so strong, he blew past me. And as I was pinning him, he just muscled right past me and spun me around. Like, holy shit, these things are strong. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, yeah, Candy. The ones that are raised right, the kids that were raised right, are a night and day difference between, from the most of them that are on the internet and shit. I'd like to do a population check, some kind of survey to see which ones are actually sane nowadays. I think all of us wanted to do that, Bullish. We all wanted to be rock stars and marry Daisy Duke. Yeah. Oh yeah, I love tubing in Washington State butt nuggets. Yeah, we had on the way to the creek. There was a tire place, and this old man, he would patch inner tubes for us and just give them to us. I remember one time I went past there and he gave me a semi tire inner tube. That thing was gigantic. I was like, everybody was jealous of me because I had that huge inner tube to go down the creek in. Oh yeah, going to school smelling of asparagus. Yeah, Bucky. Yeah, that's that was oh, Carrie Fisher trip. All right. Did you watch Dukes of Hazard over there in Australia trip? Yeah, that first paycheck, it makes you feel grown up, huh? Yeah, that I've heard other people talk about that. One or two other people grow up in a white minority in LA, and yeah, it was rough, from what I understand. Yeah, yeah, Rex. I think most of us grew up the same way. I don't know how. You're across an ocean, and Australia's across an ocean, and but we all grew up in a similar way. That's what really has blown my mind. Since I started this channel, is to realize that we have similarities all across Western civilization. It's not just here in America. And it's really cool. Yeah, yeah, freedom, Metal Gear, until you're at it for 20 years and then you realize it's slavery. Oh, Miami Vice or Magnum PI, yeah, those are good ones. Oh, okay, all right. I was just wondering, Trip. Yeah, Daisy. I don't know if y'all heard that in Australia, but she had those shorts got named after her. Those are Daisy Dukes. That's what that style of shorts is called. The ripped off shorts like that. They're called Daisy Dukes over here, or they were anyway. It might have changed by now. Oh yeah, Rex. Yeah, that was the Dukes of Hazard and the A Team. That kind of shit was just that was cultural phenomena for us when I was that age. What, I was about 10 years old when it was in its prime. Dukes of Hazard and A Team, and yeah, that stuff was just uh, it was cultural. It was embedded in our culture. You know what I mean? That we had to be home to watch the Dukes of Hazard or the A Team. Yeah, that was just it. Oh, that'd be pretty cool working at a racetrack, dude. Yeah. Polyurethane wheels. Yep. Yeah, Rex. Yeah, we did. We just grew up wild and unsupervised, with an apocalypse constantly, forever looming. Yeah, yeah. It's a crazy way to grow up, but I'm so glad I got to grow up that way. I can't imagine growing up now with all this bullshit on the internet and the lies and the all the bullshit. It's just crazy. Everybody's false. You can, you know, Photoshop any picture and look completely different or do whatever. It's just crazy. I'm just glad I'm not growing up today. Oh yeah, Metal Gear. That van was awesome. Yeah. I pity the fool. Mr. T was badass. All of us wanted to be Mr. T. With all the gold chains and shit. He would just kick ass and throw people. And oh yeah, we all loved Mr. T back in the day. I pity the fool. I remember me and my cousin running around pitying each other all the time. I pity the fool. Yeah, Chaz, Dukes of Hazard, dude. Yep, and that dog Flash. Remember Roscoe? I think it was Roscoe's dog, wasn't it? Named Flash. Oh yeah, I'd love to have a '69 Charger, dude. Yeah, the gals on Hee Haw. Yep. Oh, you got to meet Lulu? No shit, Candy. That'd be cool as hell. Yeah, online bullying. How the hell can you? Yeah, can you imagine someone bullying you online? All you literally have to do is click a button off, and the bullying completely disappears. It goes away. Change the browser, tab, and no more bullying. That shit. When you don't have enough testicle fortitude to change the browser tab and look at something else, you know what I'm saying? That shit cracks me up, dude. Holy shit! How can you can't get bullied online, dude? Because they'll turn your ass off. You can't bully me online. I would just change the channel. Yeah, holy shit, dude. That's insane. Yeah, it's just something they just pick stuff trip to hate. The Confederate flag was a lot of people are just proud to be from the South, or it used to be that way anyway, right? You're just proud to be from the South to separate yourselves from the Yankees up north. So they would fly rebel flags and keep the rebel flags and stuff. And people just started saying that was a symbol of racism, instead of what it was just pride in their section of the country. That was what it stood for. We're from the South, and I'm in Florida. I was born and raised a lot of my life here anyway, and lived most of my adult life here, so I know what I'm talking about. They don't, my uncle used to fly a rebel flag and all that, and he wasn't racist or anything. He was just proud to be from the South. So, but they started calling it racist and all that. And I'm sure somebody probably knew that they would get that reaction from somebody, so they flew it, or presented it in that manner. I'm not saying it's never been done, but that's not why most people did it. But they latched onto it, and how they do in the media and stuff. Oh yeah, Stallion. Yeah, yeah. Vehicles were as famous as the actors. Yep. Oh, I remember. We all know the name of the General Lee. Yeah, just like Bo and Luke Duke. Yeah. Yeah, that would be cool, Chaz. We could all have a beer at the boar's nest. Yeah. Oh yeah, bullish. Yeah, redneck. Yeah, that term's got twisted around too. Yep. Yeah, the history of the word and how it came about and everything. There's pride. There's pride there. It used to be a good thing to be a redneck. It still is a good thing, but they want to change the definitions of words to create division and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. Yeah, yeah. I remember my uncle had that car horn. Bum 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 bum. Yeah. My uncle had that car horn back in the 70s. That there was a lot of pride. People were proud to be from the South, and they would display that shit, you know, and there was nothing wrong with it. So uh, that's just kind of gone away because of all of the media pressure and the media backlash. You know, calling it something other than what it was. Yeah, I'm proud to be from the South too. I mean, if I was from another place in the country, proud to be from there. There's just no reason to hide from it and to try to act like you don't want to be proud of, you know, your history. You can not be proud of parts of your history, because just like people, groups of people make mistakes. You know, our forefathers made mistakes, and they were horrible. But hell, you know, I liken it to the Germans. The Germans are the German population is so beat down with that World War II shit, with all the shit that their grandparents did in World War II. They're so filled with shame. I feel bad for them. Those kids didn't do anything. These kids that they're, you know, I don't know, beaten with that stuff now. They weren't even born during World War II, but they're still paying the price for it, and they're pushed into feeling guilty for all this stuff that their forefathers did, and I don't know, I just don't like that. I feel bad for those people. It's not that bad. Luckily, it's not that bad here in America with, you know, with the stuff that our forefathers did, but still, it's bad enough. It shouldn't be at all. We should be judged on our own actions, not the actions of somebody who's been dead 200 years, especially if we weren't even related to them. Yeah, yeah, butt nuggets. The German people are awesome. Yeah, Final Fantasy. German guilt is hardcore, dude. I mean, we think we have guilt over here. Yeah, Germans. It's like multiples of our guilt over here. They're really beat with that shit in school. From the time they go to school, all through school, they're beat with that shit. So I just feel bad for them. You know, I hate to see it happen to a whole group of people, good people, you know, that don't want to harm nobody, but the German institutions are so afraid that something similar might happen again, I guess, or maybe they're just not letting a good tragedy go to waste. You know, maybe that's what they're doing. Yeah, Rex, I hate to hear that, dude, but I kind of pay attention to what's going on over there in Great Britain, dude, and yeah, it's sad. It's not even Great Britain anymore. It's not the same country that I remember hearing about growing up. Um, yeah, it's crazy. I that's another country I feel really bad for is Great Britain, dude. I I don't even know what to say. The shit that's going on over there, we think we have it bad here in America, in the United States, until we find out what's going on in places like Great Britain. It's just bad, yeah. So I don't blame Rex at all. No. All right, Bullish. Thanks for dropping by. Enjoyed having you. Thanks for reminiscing with us. You have a great evening. Yeah, Rex. Yeah, that's what I see all over the place. If you're proud to be English, I just saw a post where some gal had the flag on her dress or something, and she was kicked out of a bar. And she was dressed modestly, just in it, but the only thing wrong with her dress was that it had the Union Jack on it. Isn't that what you call your flag? But yeah, they kicked her out of the bar, wouldn't serve her, nothing, because she was racist and all this shit, right? And she was just proud to be British. So when you can't be proud to be who you are and where you're from, and that's that's a sin now, that one of the gravest sins. That's not a good road. The future is not looking good. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Trip. All that stuff is, and I mean the stuff that was happening over there with the grooming gangs and stuff. It's just horrible. Yeah, and I don't know why a government would allow that stuff, let alone push it, endorse it, right? Upon their own people. So there's got to be some massive manipulation and blackmail and stuff going on in the British government, as far as I can tell. You know what I mean? I'm trying to figure out why anyone would do this to their own country. It's got to be something like that, just really horrible blackmail or something. Yeah, Final Fantasy. Yeah, when you get arrested for internet posts, you're you're too far. You're gone down the road too damn far. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right, Rex. Those freedom of speech laws. Which ones are you talking about? Butt nuggets. Oh, the anti-freedom of speech laws. No, I don't think so. They've over here in America, because of our Constitution, they've got to find different ways to do it. Like you'll get censored here in the comments, and they'll censor me, or force me to self-censor if I want my content shown on here. So I self-censor. I have to, or I wouldn't be here talking to you. So that's the game we play. So is there anti-freedom of speech laws here? No, but they play this game. These big companies do, and the government does, right? Anything can be hate speech or any of that other kind of stuff where they can just do what they want. So they get loopholes. I don't think they can just straight up pass anti-freedom of speech laws. Yeah, they'll have to amend the Constitution, I believe. That's just what I could be totally wrong, but hell no, Trip. Yeah, she's not going to get an apology. Not only that, the bar that she got kicked out of, they are probably being celebrated. Yeah, Chaz, you're right about that. Yeah, it does bring people together. Yeah. Yeah, Candy, you're right about that. It will. It's just a matter of time. Like I've said before, there goes Chaz reloading. All right. Like I said before, no civilization lasts forever. No empire, no country, none of it lasts forever. And England, Great Britain is current proof, right? They'll get twisted, sick people in power, and they'll destroy their own shit. Yeah, Dwayne, companies control the platforms, so we have to play the game. Exactly. And these big companies get in there and they start twisting stuff up. And so no civilization lasts forever. The only thing is that when will it collapse? When will, Great Britain completely flip and turn into something else? When will America or Mexico or whatever, when will it become something else? The only question is when. And it seems like to me like that the track for that is speeding up, with all this crazy shit that's going on in countries like England and Germany and the United States and Canada. I went to Canada in the 90s and when I was stationed in the Army, and it was a great place to go. Now I hardly even recognize it from the stuff I see online. I don't know. I could say the same thing about the United States, England. I'm sure that Tripwire could say the same thing about Australia. Oh, I believe it, Rex. I wish I could just bring y'all over here to the United States. I would. It's on your Hawaiian flag. Yeah, I've heard of other people leaving America for other countries, and I've been to other countries, and I spent quite a while in Korea, a year, and it's just different. It's not like America's 100 times better than South Korea or anything. South Korea is just different. They have different culture and different, they have normalized different things in their culture. Stuff that makes us cringe is just normal to them. And the same thing if a South Korean comes over here, us just cutting into a big rare steak would disgust them. So yeah, every country has its problems. It's only really worrying when you see a country go so far like Great Britain has. When they go that far, importing that many foreigners and making their own citizens second class, then the problem is really bad, and it's gone too far. Uh, but we have a lot of freedoms that other countries don't have, but other countries have freedoms that we don't have. So I just wouldn't go because it'd be a pain in the ass to learn a new language. Oh yeah, Final Fantasy, that would be weird. I heard about that. That you've had a lot of Somalians imported into Minnesota. Oh, okay, Rex. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize that it was the money that was prohibitive, but I knew that people didn't come over here from England for some reason. That's why I say if I could, I would just bring y'all over here. More people to vote for common sense, bring all Gen Xers over here. No, don't get me started on Korean food, Chaz. Yakimandu, dude, I love that shit. I could eat that shit for days. But I got it back over here to the States, and I ordered some yakimandu from a supposedly Korean restaurant, and it was bad. It was nothing like the real stuff that you get over there in Korea. Yeah, it maybe Cypher might have been right. Yeah, Brad. Kimchi, I never got a taste for kimchi. I tried it a couple times, but I never really liked it too much. I don't know if I didn't get some good stuff or what. Yeah, Rex, our Constitution is what saves us. It just makes it very difficult for them to get around shit, because then we can go through our justice system and a judge will say, no, that goes against the Constitution, and they'll slam it down, and that's it, you know? Um, but again, that takes money, to fight against something and to climb up the courts system to get to the Supreme Court it costs a lot of money. Yeah, we can thank Obama for a lot of bullshit. zombie. Yeah. In Montana, crab man. Man, what the hell are they doing? Man, Trump needs to just ramp up on those deportations. I'm telling you. Yeah, I just don't know which one I'd go to. Where would I go, Candy, if I wanted to do that? If I won the lottery and I could move to any country in the world, what country that all their governments tell them how to live? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know of one that isn't as bad or worse than the United States. Can't go to Canada. Can't go to England. Can't go to Germany. Can't go to. I don't know how bad Australia is. Maybe they're 10 years behind us, or maybe they're equal to the United States with their government control. I don't know. Maybe Greece. I heard that Greece has had conservative leadership for the last couple terms, so maybe Greece is the best hope right now. I don't know. But we'll have to see after Trump's the end of this term. We'll have to see what else he does through the rest of this term. Yeah, the Second Amendment is what saves us, Final Fantasy, and the First Amendment's what saves the Second Amendment. Yeah, crab man. Yep, the UN, uh, global banking system, all this globalism shit, 15-minute cities. Yeah, that's all part of the same big program. Uh, what is it? The WEF and the WHO and all that crap. Uh, I haven't. I've heard some good stuff about Greece. I've heard bad stuff about Spain and Italy both. So I don't know. I'd have to do some more research before I really made a judgment call on that. Oh, it's a problem there too, Trip, in Australia, and they're all every one of these governments is just importing voters. That's all they're doing. They don't give a shit about our economy and our the price of our wages and stuff. Yeah, I don't even if it got so bad, Dwayne, that I would be willing to relocate. I don't think there's a country out there that's in that much better. So no. Yeah, that's I'm tempted to do that, Rex. Drop off the radar, yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, okay. It would just depend on their government and the level of government control and overreach and all that stuff. I would really have to do some research before I move to another country. But it would have to get so bad here that I literally couldn't stand it anymore. With our Constitution and everything, there's always hope, in the United States so far, until they just decide to do away with our Constitution at some point, and then there's no telling what'll happen then. Yeah, yeah, Trip. Yeah, just move. I wish I had Elon Musk money. I'd buy us a big island somewhere and just set up a community. Oh, okay. Spain's becoming expensive. Well, shit, that's no different than the United States. It's gotten crazy the last 8 years. So, ever since COVID, everything skyrocketed. All prices skyrocketed, and they're not coming down. Yeah, Final Fantasy. That'd be cool as hell. Oh, and me and Lake, I don't know how many of y'all, because we've got new viewers and stuff, but we're still talking about the Gen X Festival next year. It's just going to be small right off the bat. I don't know how small it's going to be, but Yeah, I doubt it'll be millions of us. It'll be at least three of us, me, Brad, and Lake. So that there's gonna be at least three people. So it might be more. So all of y'all are invited, and you can get in the email chain, and the email is just genxthinks@gmail.com. So if you want to get involved in that and keep tabs on it, but it'll be April 20th next year, 420. We're gonna do Gen X Festival. It'll be all online at first, unless you want to go out and barbecue and film yourself or whatever and live stream or something. But it's just gonna be, we're gonna kind of wing it this first year. But I think it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be one of those things that grow. Oh, there are islands for sale in the Mississippi River. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. Yeah, April they do. Start flying them back. Yeah, just send them back. Oh, that'd be cool, dude. Live off grid in the Catalonian mountains. Yeah, yeah, that'd be awesome. Have you become a Spanish citizen, Rex? Yeah, Final Fantasy. We're gonna do it. There's Laic right there. He's in on it. It's gonna be, at the very least, we want to get as many people as are willing to join us. But we're gonna do it every year from now on. This will be 2026 will be the first annual Gen X festival. And if it's just us three, it'll be just us three partying with each other. But that'll be cool. But anybody, we're inviting everybody else. Any Gen Xer who wants to take part is more than welcome to hang out with us. We can do nostalgic cosplay, dress up or whatever if you want to. Take it as far as you want. Yeah, it's just gonna be a good time. Gonna be a whole day of nothing but Gen X. I'm gonna take off work if that's a work day for me. I'm gonna take a mental health day. Yeah, we're gonna have an online meetup. Yeah, no, it'll be all online. I mean, you could get local people to come over, and if you want to barbecue or whatever, just local people. But I was looking at it like Comic Con was just like three people when they first started, and the one for gaming, what's it? I forget what that's called. Uh, International Gaming Community IDC or something like that. But the gaming one was real small too, like three or four people at first. But it just grew. That's what we're gonna do here. Yeah, 420 jazz. Yep. And since we played a big part, and Gen X did played a big part, and Lake brought this up to me through email. We played a big part in legalizing weed. So that's the perfect day to do it. The boomers fought against that shit the whole time we were growing up. The boomers fought against legalizing weed. It took until Gen X grew up and came into our own that we could get the shit legalized like it's supposed to be. Should have been the whole time. And if y'all heard me before, I don't even smoke weed, but shit, I don't think it should be illegal and putting people in jail over it. Oh, okay. Tiny Farm Nuggets. That's the name of your channel, Butt Nuggets. Okay. So anybody listening or watching or taking part right now, check out Butt Nuggets Homestead's channel, Tiny Farm Nuggets. Yeah, I'll check it out after our live stream ends here. The Armenian. Yeah, I thought that might have been a misspelling there. That's why I didn't say Armenian. I thought that might have been a typo or something. All right. Yeah, tiny farm. That's the way to go, dude. That's living life there. I hope so, Chaz. I hope you be burning something. Yeah, most states have now, at least medical. Like here in Florida, it's not legal. They keep fighting against it to make it just legal across the board. But it's medically legal. So you got to go to a doctor, and pay him $350 once a year or something. And I'm sure they have some kind of lobby, those doctors, because they're making just a killing, so they lobby the politicians and shit to make sure, and they make ads and stuff to get people to vote against completely legalizing it. Yeah, Rex, that's true. Anything that uh, opens your mind like that is illegal. Oh, shrooms are legal in Michigan? I didn't know that. Hell, you can't even have the spores here in Florida. They just passed a law to, if you get caught with the spores, you'll go to prison, let alone the actual mushrooms. Oh, recreational. Yeah, Candy, that's the word I was looking for. Recreational. But yeah, most states have it legalized in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, well, that doesn't surprise me, Rex. Everything's still illegal, yeah. And there's a lot of that stuff has medical uses, and they don't. The big pharma, they're lobbying hard to keep that to keep it illegal because it's got medical uses, and they wouldn't make money. The big pharma would lose so much money if they just legalized drugs. They wouldn't need all that stuff. I've heard a lot about hallucinogenics and how it helps with depression and anxiety and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Zombie, it is. Oh, damn, Trip. That's messed up. Okay, 40 states are medical. All right, that sounds about right. I could probably name the states where it's still illegal. Like I would guess Utah. States like that. You used to look for them with a book, huh? Yeah, Rex peyote. That's another one. All that, in my opinion, all that shit should be illegal, dude. Nobody's killing each other over weed or peyote or mushrooms, or you know what I mean. People don't uh, get on mushrooms and go on a spree or anything. It's the danger. I mean, there's danger with everything, but there's danger eating ice cream and stuff. So yeah, to make shit illegal just to make it illegal, just to keep our prisons full is ridiculous in my opinion. Yeah, I can't tax it, Trip. It's harder to tax. They'd have to control it too, and but if it's just legal, if you can get it from anywhere and not just through medical, then yeah, it's harder to tax it. You're right, Trip. Yeah, I heard Oregon's like one of the best places in the country for mushrooms. Not only tripping mushrooms, but like delicacy mushrooms, right? Yeah, crap, man. Legalize freedom. That's the only thing that should be legal. Just all kinds of freedom. Yeah, don't worry about any of that other shit. Yeah, I'm an ice cream fan too. I the Bluebell I think I get. I want to get an ice cream making machine and make my own. They're just expensive. I gotta uh, do that. Oh, call in feature. Yes, big country. Yeah, I have. I just have to implement it. It costs money, and I'm trying to just decide when the best time is to pull the trigger on it, and then I have to have time to make sure it's implemented and test it, and all that kind of stuff. But yes, I am going to do it, big country, in the next 2 weeks probably. Maybe next weekend I'll have it. I'll have it up and ready, so y'all can call. There's kind of a thing where I've got to figure out how to do it. Let's see how to go about this, because I don't know how many people are going to want to call in. I don't know how much time to give each person, because I haven't come up in this kind of industry. I'm a handyman, so I don't want to have people calling in just screaming and barking and just doing random stuff on here, because I have to pay for it. So I'm just kind of doing my research right now, but it's going to happen, big country. Yes, definitely. Oh, but I got the Bluebell ice cream, and I found a flavor called blueberry cobbler. Oh, I love that shit. It's got like little chunks of the crust in it and stuff. Yeah, I love that stuff. Yeah, you're right, Candy. Most of it's not ice cream anymore. You gotta go through, sift through them, and try them to see. Splinter in the mind. Oh, okay. Okay, the real deal, Brahms. All right. But I do want to get a good ice cream maker. I remember my grandpa making it in the old style. It was like it looked like a wooden bucket, and he would spin it, and he put ice and salt around it. But I love that ice cream he made. So I want to get my own ice cream maker here one of these days, because that is one of my indulgences. I like ice cream. StreamYards, yeah, I looked into that. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some more research into that, because that's not really what I want to do, from what I've read about it. Deer Tracks, I've heard that's pretty good. Metal Gear. I haven't tried that one yet. Superman ice cream. I've never heard of that. Zombie. Oh, okay. Maybe that's what we need. Maybe that's what I didn't even think about that, big country. Maybe that's how I need to do it. Yeah, just to keep it organized, at least at first, until I get comfortable with it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, those old ice cream makers, they work good. I remember my grandpa using them, and it worked good. Made delicious ice cream. Yeah, the blueberry cobbler is delicious, dude. Yeah, that shit's good. Yeah, I gotta make myself put it down. Yep. Yeah, another Gen X memory, Candy. I want to make some new Gen X memories with some new homemade ice cream. Yeah. I don't, yeah, they have frozen oat yogurt here a lot too, Rex. I don't know. I just don't trust that shit. It's one of those things you buy, and I don't know. Our food over here is so messed up with the chemicals and stuff in it. Uh, and now they're spraying that stuff called appeal on our food, and it's been approved and all that stuff. They're going to start spraying that crap on all our fruits and vegetables and stuff. Our food industry is just off the rails with chemicals and all this shit. It's crazy. So I don't know. I shouldn't even trust the ice cream. That's why I want to make my own, because I don't want chemicals and shit in my food. More than, the nostalgia effect, really. It's just because I want to know what's in my food. Like I told y'all before, I make my own bread and stuff. I just don't like that shit in my food. Oh, Big Country, they have one? Okay. The ones that I looked for them, but they were all like between 100 and 200 bucks. I'll have to look for that one, Big Country. Now that I know one exists, I'll do a little more research. Oh yeah, fresh blackberries. Me and my brother they had a big field of blackberries when I was growing up, and we would like tunnel through it and pick blackberries. Holy shit, those things were good. Fresh right off the thing, right off the vine. Yeah, okay. Ice dairy dessert. Yeah, they love using those words to mislead people. Yeah, we're going to eat bugs, own nothing, and just get fed lies. We're gonna not know anything. We're not gonna own anything, and we're not gonna eat anything real. And we're supposed to be happy with it. Oh, that would be awesome, Chaz. Yeah, a steam powered ice cream contraption. Yeah, that'd be cool. Oh, I bet it is, Rex, the taste difference between real food, because I garden a little bit with what little bit of time I have, and my bread, the bread that I make myself, holy shit, it's just night and day difference between that crap I buy at the store. I can go buy the same, organic whole wheat bread at the store, and the taste difference is night and day. And not because I'm such a good bread maker, it's just because I'm using real ingredients. Oh, okay. Thank you, Big Country. Oh yeah, Rex. That's you can compare the old bread that we used to eat. We have a brand here called Wonder Bread, which you might have heard of. But back in the 70s and 80s, the ingredients list was like 4 or 5 ingredients. And then you look at the shit now, a loaf of bread now, the same exact bread, and the list of ingredients is like 3 paragraphs long. It's just a big, all kinds of chemicals and glucophosphates and all this crap in there. And there's no reason for it. It's the shit goes bad. My bread I make myself with very limited ingredients lasts way longer than that stuff I buy at the store with all the preservatives and stuff in it. Now that makes me believe that all these preservatives aren't really preservatives. What they're not doing a very good job of preserving that shit. Oh, okay. Thank you, Big Country. I appreciate it. Oh, okay, Stallion. That would be cool. I wish I had one of those old hand crank ones. Yeah, that would be awesome to have one of those. Maybe I'll find one at a thrift store or something one of these days. Yeah, small batch ice cream maker. Yeah, I like ice cream. I like all kinds of dairy products. Most dairy shit, cheese, ice cream, cream cheese. I love that. I love like what's that called? Cheesecake. Oh yeah, I love cheesecake. That kind of stuff. Jason, make a video of the bread I make so you can do it too. Okay. Yeah. Well, YouTube has been like pestering me to make vertical live streams. Like the shorts. It's like you're supposed to watch it on your phone, but I don't think it has a time limit. So maybe I'll experiment with that. Show y'all how to make the bread. Add a cordless drill, yeah, Mac, to the old crank ice cream machine. Yeah, Rex, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about, and I don't like putting that shit in my body. Salami and cream cheese on a plain bagel. Nope. No, I've never tried that. Oh, I love huckleberries, dude. You had huckleberry beer? I didn't even know they could make beer out of that. Yeah, but that I it's not that I well, it's not only that I don't want to put chemicals in my body, but I just don't like the idea of them lying to me and putting shit in my food without telling me why or what it is and explain, you know what I'm saying? They should have big like little folders, those little fold out papers that you can take out and read and unfold them and read and see, okay, this is what this does, this is why we changed this is what, all this, that kind of stuff. This is why we added glutophosphate. But I mean, they could still be lying, but at least they would be trying. But it's just a thing in my head too, like a screw you thing. I'm not eating your shit that you're trying to get me to eat. I'm just not gonna eat it, even if it was good for me. If you have to slip it in my food without telling me, I'm not gonna eat it. Yeah, everything has sugar in it, April. Now, okay, here's a really good point, or a sticking point with me anyway. I remember I used to love beef jerky when I was a kid, and it never had sugar in it. Now I go to buy beef jerky, which I like making my own beef jerky because I've got a dehydrator and stuff. But if I just haven't had time lately. But when I go to buy beef jerky at the store, I have to search for the special bag with zero sugar in it. All the other kinds, I pick up and read the ingredients. The number one ingredient is beef, and the second ingredient is sugar. Who the hell started putting sugar in beef jerky, and why? Does anybody else remember beef jerky didn't used to have all kinds of sugar in it? Or is it just me? Am I just losing my mind? Because when I was a kid, beef jerky didn't have sugar in it. It was salty. That was the whole point of it. It was salty. Now that shit's sweet. All of it, even the original. I'm not talking about the teriyaki and stuff. I'm just talking about original old trapper beef jerky. The number two ingredient, sugar. It's crazy. Yeah, that shit burns my ass when I grab some beef jerky. Yeah, Trip. They've got it, all of them. You have to search to find the one brand, and then they sell six kinds of beef jerky, and only one of them is sugar free, and not sugar free like it has zero sugar in it. All the rest of them have sugar in them as the number two ingredient after beef. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, okay, Rex, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, they put sugar in everything now. Yeah, I've heard that before, Crab Man. That's the corn thing. Yep, they put corn in everything. The high fructose corn syrup and shit. Yep, I don't eat that shit if I can help it. If I drink a soda, which I do drink Pepsi, I probably drink one a day, maybe something like that. I drink two a day, maybe 1 or 2 days a week. I might drink a second one. but I drink the Pepsi with real sugar in it. I don't drink that high fructose shit. Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah, yeah, Mr. Big. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Everything has sugar in it now. And that's why people are diabetic, because everything has sugar in it without them telling us. They're just putting that shit in our food. You grab some beef jerky and you eat it. You don't have time. It tastes a little sweet. You don't like it particularly, but if you like beef jerky, you might get used to it after a while, and you just eat it. Well, you're ingesting all kinds of sugar, even if you're eating beef jerky. Bread, they put tons of sugar in just about everything. Biltong? I don't know what that is, Crab Man. I'm gonna have to look that up. All right. Yeah, Rex. Yeah, you got to be cautious with what you eat, especially here in America. It seems like that they're just trying to keep us sick and trying to keep us, taking pills and stuff for diabetes and cholesterol and all this stuff. When a lot of that stuff didn't even exist back in the late 1800s, people survived. They did, but they didn't get sugar. Sugar back then was a very rare treat. Oh yeah, Crab Man, that kind of stuff. Yep, all those artificial sweeteners and shit. You'd have to tie me down and put me unconscious to get that shit in my mouth. I'm telling you, I wouldn't eat that shit. Oh, same here, Rex. Yeah, I'm 54. I weigh the same as I did when I was 23. Yeah, I haven't. I fluctuate 5 pounds. Between 135 and 140. That's where I've stayed my whole life. Oh yeah, anything homemade like that is just delicious, Stallion. Homemade beef jerky. I'll take mangoes and slice them, and dehydrate those, and I'll flavor them. I'll put a little cayenne pepper on them. Yeah, but that kind of shit's good. Yeah, yeah. We need to start. Candy. Everybody needs to start paying attention to that shit and trying not to eat so much sugar. I know it's hard, but if for no other reason, even if you don't care about your health, don't give those huge companies your money. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to keep you sick. They don't deserve your damn money. Oh yeah, Trip. All that I think that the sugar-free crap is worse for you than just the regular sugar crap. I mean, it's all bad, but the sugar-free crap is even worse. Yeah, but okay. Oh, okay. South African jerky. All right. Yeah, yeah. Final Fantasy. That ever since then, it's been getting worse and worse. Now we're all just addicted to it, to where we're like, um, got a tolerancy to it, but it's killing us. Oh, okay. Yeah, that stuff is that's bad, Mister Big. That sugar cane, just regular sugar. I actually, for any all of you who might be listening, coconut sugar doesn't affect my wife's blood sugar levels, because she had the test. She had that little test thing, and she tested her blood sugar level after she ate coconut sugar, and it didn't affect it at all. And that's what I put in my bread, coconut sugar or honey. That's what I put in my coffee. I Most of the sweet stuff I eat is either fresh fruits or coconut sugar, and it's way better for you than like processed cane sugar or corn syrup and that kind of shit. So if you have to have some sweets, I think personally, not being a doctor or anything, that coconut sugar is just way better for you. Your body is able to metabolize it a lot easier. Yeah, that's not a small amount. 50 pounds to lose. That's a damn good thing to be proud of there. Yeah, yeah, Rex, you're absolutely right. It's all aspartame. That sweet and low and all that other stuff. It's just they just use aspartame and they add some more stuff to it, but it's all the basic. The root ingredient is aspartame. Yeah, and for everyone who wants to know, they're changing the name of aspartame, so we don't know that it's aspartame anymore. In the United States, they're changing it to like amino sweet or something like that. So they're tricking us because people are getting sick of that chemical shit and they don't want to eat aspartame anymore. So they're changing the name of aspartame so we'll think we're getting something good, something healthy. It's still the same chemical. If you want to question that, be sure to feel free to look it up and question me, verify me. But they're changing the name of aspartame. For any of you who are in the know and you know what aspartame is and all that shit, look it up. They're about to change the name of it. So all they got to do is change. They don't even have to change anything in their factory. All they have to do is change the printing label to say amino sweet on it. But they're putting the same exact shit in the food. Yeah. Yeah, Final Fantasy, I definitely would. It tastes good. I love coconut sugar because it can have not all of them do, depend on the brand, but it can have a hint of a nutty flavor, like a roasted kind of nutty flavor, which is really good to me. But not all of them have it. Some of them are just pure sweet. Hill Bill, what's up? Representing Northwest Montana. Glad to see you here, dude. Yeah, we're talking about the food industry and how they're poisoning us with aspartame and shit, dude. Oh, okay, Candy. Well, I think that uh, just realizing what the hell these huge companies are feeding us will go a long way, toward a lot of people just getting healthier overall. I've just never been concerned with weight, a person's weight, my weight, anybody's weight. I don't give a shit. But I want people to be healthy, and I don't want people to be eating stuff that they're unaware of and feeding these big corporations all of their money when these big corporations are destroying their health. I just want people to be healthy and happy, whether that's at 300 pounds or 100 pounds. I don't care, as long as they're healthy and happy. Yeah, I've thought about Montana, dude. That would be that's attractive. That's beautiful country up there, Final Fantasy. Yeah, but they get some snow up there. Yeah, Hillbill. Yeah, negative 35 degrees. Yeah. Yeah, they get some blizzards up there like we get hurricanes down here, right, Hillbill? Don't y'all get some hellified blizzards up there? Yeah, Rex. Yeah, exactly. Coconut milk has got a lot of electrolytes in it too. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Rex. Not only that, but they're finding out that these plastic wrappings are putting a lot of chemicals and microplastics in the food. You know what I mean? So that's a double negative impact on your health. Yeah, coconuts are they're really healthy. Trip. Yeah, they you can't go wrong with coconut. I wouldn't try to eat the shell, but anything else is probably good for you. Yeah, that's where I'm trying to get to. 100% real food. The only roadblock for me right now, Candy, is time. I work so much, just paying the bills and stuff, so I need time to do it. But that's why I want to get away from processed food 100% and totally. I'm pretty close to that, but yeah, I'd like to be 100%. I'm probably about 90. I bet I'm 90% away from processed foods right now. or somewhere around there. Yeah, there's so much crap, man, with that, what you're saying there about diabetes and underlying problems. It's such a mess and so confusing, and most of it can be just fixed with diet and exercise. Just eat real food. Not even starve yourself diet. Not that kind of diet. Atkins or whatever. I'm just talking. Just eat real food. Stop eating all this crap, and get a little exercise. But you got to make that a lifestyle, not a short impermanent fix. Come dry. Regina, Saskatchewan, -45 sometimes. The coldest weather I've ever been in was 17 below. So at 45 below would have to be, ooh, man, that's painful. 17 below will make you mad, because the wind hitting you and your ears hurt and your nose hurts when you go outside, and yeah, that'll just make you mad. So 45 below would that'll just keep you pissed off constantly. Just knowing that it's 45 below outside would piss you off. Yeah. Oh yeah, AI medical's coming, all right. Yeah, and they've got most of us drinking all this bottled water and shit, and it's all in these plastic containers, and I don't know. I've heard that they tested the spring water, and it had fluoride and shit in it, so it was just tap water. They're just filling it with tap water and putting it in a bottle that said spring water. Now, I don't know how true that was. It's some shit I saw online, but I just see they're selling us water, they're selling us food, where back in the past in our history, that stuff used to be free. We would work for our food, we would raise our own food, and we would gather our own water from a well or whatever. They found out how to monetize food and water, and the next thing on the list is air. It will not surprise me if we have some kind of air contamination thing, and especially since they've been dumping shit in the sky for 20 years, and we'll have to start buying canned air. You know what I mean? Yeah, I've always wanted to go to Montana. That's one state I've always wanted to go to and never been there yet. Alaska's another one. I want to go to Alaska. You're out of mead. I'd like to try mead. I'd like to make my own, as a matter of fact. You out of here, Trip? All right. Have a good one, man. Thanks for stopping by, dude. You always add great stuff to the conversation. Well, I drank a lot of water growing up, Rex. I mean, basically, that's what we had to drink. Once in a while, we'd get to put some Kool-Aid in the water and drink Kool-Aid, but other than that, that's pretty much all I drank. Yeah, Final Fantasy. I'm the same way. I need meat in my damn diet. I don't know. I don't like eating just meat either, because I crave vegetables. My body tells me you need some vegetables, dude. I need a balanced diet on my plate. Yeah, I Right now, during the hot months of the summer, I eat a lot of salads. I'll eat, like what is it called, a chef salad, with meat in it, tuna fish or chicken or something. But it's all, except for the meat, is processed. I guess the tuna fish is processed, but everything else is just fresh vegetables. But yeah, I just don't think that eating all that processed food is good for us. I really don't. I mean, that's just my opinion. I haven't done, 100-year study with a bunch of people to see who gets cancer and who doesn't or whatever, but I just have a very strong feeling that most of the stuff that ails us comes from our processed food. Eating McDonald's and microwave burritos and all this bullshit that we eat. I think that's what's killing us. That's what's keeping us from living longer. Oh, okay. Over here, I don't know. In Spain, is raw milk a thing? Do y'all eat or drink just raw milk? Because I like just raw milk. It's hard to get here, but it's all processed, pasteurized bullshit. But I do still love milk. Yeah, Candy, that's exactly what I eat. Yep, beef, eggs, butter, fruits, and vegetables. Yep. Hawaiian mango bread. Yeah, maybe I'll try that. Jazz, yeah. I'll give that a shot. Yeah, but I'm a proponent of the basic natural diet, just real food, which is hard to do nowadays. You have to have the time to prepare the food, to grow the food in a garden. If you're blessed with the land to do that and the time to do it, it takes quite a bit of land to grow enough food, and it's not cheap. To set it up like the raised bed gardens and all that stuff, to set it up so you can um, grow enough food to sustain you. It's not cheap. It's expensive. Well, the initial cost anyway. The startup cost. After that, you can harvest your own seeds and stuff and keep it going, but it's not cheap to get it started. Or yeah, it's not cheap to get it started. Oh, a Mennonite store? Okay. All right, butt nuggets. Yeah, yeah, me too, Rex. All that, anything that's been ultra processed or anything, I don't like. I just want it right out of the cow, to be honest. I don't remember how we got it, but at one point when I was a kid, we had a milk cow, and I would go out there and milk it by hand myself and drink that, just put it in the fridge for overnight, and the next morning, I'd put that on my cereal. That was the best milk I've ever tasted, just straight out of that cow, and I've never tasted anything as good since. And I know that kind of milk would be great as an ingredient in ice cream and stuff. Holy shit, damn. All right, Metal Gear, thanks for dropping by, dude. Thanks for dropping some good comments and stuff and joining our conversation, man. Oh, okay. It's not available in England? Okay. Yeah, that's how it is here in the United States. Oh, all right. Well, it's time to go. It's 6 o'clock. Our 2 hours is up. All right. Well, I like these conversations about, the food and the chemicals in our food, especially here in the United States. And earlier we had a lot of good nostalgia stuff. So yeah, a great conversation this time. Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. Just milk delivery. Like they used to do that here back in the day, probably the 50s, huh? Where the milkman would come by. All right. So I'd like to say goodbye to everybody. Rex over there in Spain, Chaz, Candy, Lake, Trip already left us. Who else we got? Final Fantasy, Butt Nuggets, April, Bucky, Mr. Big, Big Country, Stallion 45. All right. Come Dry, Hillbill. All right. So, if I missed your name, I apologize. It's hard to scroll through these long conversations like this. A lot of people have commented, but if I missed your name, I apologize. I'd like to say hi again to Sigma Wolf over there on Rumble. My boy, he's the one dude over there on Rumble who watches us. Rex Moto, stay frosty, dude. Thank you all for showing up. I really appreciate it. I love these live streams. It's gonna be great. And here next weekend or the week after, like I don't know if y'all saw Big Country ask me, but we'll start a live call-in thing, so you can call in and talk to me. But I'm figuring that out right now. But I'm gonna figure it out, and we'll start that pretty quick. All right. All right. And thanks again. And I'll leave you there with that. As always, stay frosty, Gen X. And I'll see you on the next one.